This is Jesse Garnier. He's we actually met because there was a local gathering in Spruce Grove. You know, for those of you who know the Edmonton area, and we didn't even know Jesse was part of the community back then. But he has stepped up and really started to set the 4-minute mile, so to speak, for our community. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, but like zero marketing experience, zero network marketing experience, zero business experience whatsoever. Is that right?
Zero of all of the above.
So Jess, if you don't mind, just share quick, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, your background, how you got introduced, what your experience has been like so far with GAZ and the Enagic campaign, and what your future looks like.
For sure, man. Thanks for having me out. So I come from oil and gas industry background in Alberta. I'm not sure where everyone on here is from, but I was born and raised in a small town in Alberta, and I did the typical thing. You go to school, you get a good job after you're done high school. I jumped into the oil and gas industry because that's what everyone was doing. I didn't want to go to school to do anything because that means going into debt before actually making money. And the chances of getting into a career that you actually go to school for, I looked at that and I was like, that's a waste of my time. So I got a decent paying job right out of high school. I was making like $19 an hour or something. I didn't mind the job. It was a good job. But the biggest, back then I didn't have a wife, didn't have kids or anything, so it wasn't a huge deal to work all the time. But that seemed to be the path that my life was going, because I was constantly working and trading my time for money. And it just, at the time, that's normal. That's what you do, right? You get out of high school, you find the best job you can, and you just work the rest of your life away and hope that you have enough to retire by the time that time comes. But it wasn't until we had our first son that I realized that this isn't the way I wanted my life to go. I've always known I wanted to be my own boss. I just didn't know how I was going to do that. I was always working towards making enough money to buy my own truck and start a trucking company or something of that sort, because that's all I knew. But trying to get ahead enough to actually buy a truck, that kind of business costs over $1 million to get into. I didn't have that kind of cash, and I didn't have the time to put into my own thing because I was always working. And so the cycle kind of continued for about 8 or 9 years, and we had our son. So at that point, the economy started to go downhill. I was still doing okay. I still had a decent paying job, but they cut my wages 10% and they were making me work more. I was in a salary position at the time. And so they cut my wage, made me work more because they laid off all the hourly people. And that's when I decided, you know what, this isn't good. I'm making less money, working more, spending more time away from my family. I was working 6 to 7 days a week, 12 to 16 hours a day at my job. I would leave to go to work before my son was awake. I would come home long after he was in bed. Even though I was home every night, I still missed, I think the most was 3 weeks. I was home every night, and I still didn't see my son for 3 straight weeks. That sucks. So I started looking at other opportunities. I wasn't necessarily looking to get into an online business, but I was just looking at maybe, I don't know. I was just looking for something. I always had my eye open. I've always been the type to kind of try and plan for the future as much as I could. And something caught my eye with these guys. It was actually my direct mentor, Brian Hodgson, who got me involved. But something about him caught my attention. He was cut from the same cloth as me. He was ex-oil patch, living the dream now, and making his life seem like exactly what I wanted my life to be. He was spending time with his family, his girlfriend and his son, taking him on all sorts of exotic vacations and trips. They literally live they move to a different exotic location every 4 months or something. Like, it's crazy. Um, so I looked at that and I was like, that's what I want to do. So obviously this guy's doing something right. I'm doing something wrong. I need to follow this guy. So I linked up with him, got involved with this whole thing. That's when I started to see Balaj come into the game, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's a big player. Like I gotta like listen to these guys. So I took every single thing that they told me, like Balaj and Matthew Jang and Julian Sherman and like all the top guys. I watched them. I did what they did. I followed everything that they. If they said to do it, I would be doing it that minute. So I really like had zero experience in anything like this. It's actually really mind blowing, and I'm kind of losing my words here because I'm getting ahead of myself. But um, zero experience in sales, marketing. Never did an MLM before. Never did any kind of thing like this. I was always the first guy to call this kind of thing a scam. But like I said, something with this just caught my attention. I was like, these guys are real people helping real people. And when I got in, I seen the training. Like, for somebody who barely even knew how to turn on a computer at the time to come in and start making income within 2 months of being in, yeah, there was ups and downs in the first little bit, but I just look at that. There's ups and downs in any business you get into. So I just, I was always on a steady incline. And within like 3 months, no, 2.5 months, I was comfortable enough with this to quit my job. I quit my job and just ran with this full bore as fast as I could. And like at that point, we had our second child on the way, baby girl. And that's when I realized I either have to make this thing work or I'm literally screwed because I have no other plan B. So like that drive that it put into me, plus the system that we have in place, like there's no reason why anybody cannot succeed in this because it's literally so laid out. And like Balaj was saying, the new system that we have now is like 10 times better than what we did back then. Back then it was literally, I would call Brian and be like, hey man, I need help with this. And he would walk me through on the phone how to do stuff. So the system we have in place now, like it's all videos. You just watch the video. It tells you step by step. What I tell people to do is watch the video on your phone, do as they do on the computer, and it's foolproof. Like anybody can do this. I have my 67, I think, year old auntie in here, and she's absolutely killing it. And she's got a 75-year-old friend in here that's killing it. And like, it's crazy how easy it can be if you take the time to actually do as they say. Like, don't cut corners, don't, just follow the steps and you'll do just fine. Like, it's literally 90% done for you. And trust me, I've looked into other systems since joining up with this because I was like, well, I can't claim that we have the best system out there, not knowing what else is out there, right? Like I said, I've never looked into anything else prior to this. I just kind of lucked out that I landed here. So since then, I've been pitched on many, many different ideas, seen many, many different comp plans, and like nothing is comparable that I've seen to this day. And I actually have multiple $5,000 bets out there with random people saying that if you can find something better and prove it, I will literally pay you $5,000 because I want in on it. Because if there's something better where I can make more money than I am now, with the experience that I have now, I'm all over it. But like, there's no need to even look any further because I've literally looked at enough to know that there is nothing even comparable. So that being said, like it's been a complete life changer for me and my family. We wake up, I do my thing for about a half hour each morning. I hang out with my wife and my kids for most of the day. We just do whatever it is we want to do. I've been on more vacations in the last 4 months than I've been on in my entire life. And it's just, I don't know. I literally pinch myself every now and then just to make sure I'm still alive and that I'm not just in a coma somewhere. and this is just a dream life. I don't know. If it is a dream life, I'll just stay with this. But
Jesse, thank you so much. Everybody can tell how humble Jesse is. He's a phenomenal guy, and I have to say one of our most humble leaders and top producers. Jesse, if you don't mind, I mean, you've had some phenomenal results. Today you've been involved. How long? About 15 months.
14 and a half, 15, yeah.
14 months. And do you care to share approximately, how much you've been able to earn in that amount of time with zero experience starting online?
Yeah, for sure. To date, since the day I started, I'm just shy of 600,000, I believe. Like probably 575-ish. And like my first month, I never made anything. My second month, I made about $2,200. My third month is when it started to skyrocket, and I made over $10,000. Sixth month was like 49 or something. And then my 12th month was my record month so far, which was at 91.7 or something. But, and then I kind of flatlined for a little bit, but, I have huge plans on the future. Like I plan on I have a plan in place to get to, $1 million a month within a few months, hopefully.
Love it. Hey, no hoping needed, right? When you got a plan and you got the desire. And not to downplay your success, Jesse, what are the results of your team?
My team, I've got, I don't know offhand exactly, but I've got a few people that have had $50,000 months. Like 33 of them have quit their jobs now. Like a lot of them are over $10,000 a month. And it's just growing daily. Like my team literally grows probably by 3 or 4 people a day now. It's insane.
Amazing. And everybody using the system, everybody adopting, the online marketing skills that we teach, right?
Yeah. Everybody is. Everybody just like, and the people that I'm attracting are people that are like me, who usually don't have any prior experience in sales or marketing or anything to do with online, anything really. But those are the kind of people I'm trying to attract, is the people just like me.
Awesome. Which is a great marketing tactic.
Yeah.
Right. It's the best, right? Attract who you are, attract what you want. Jesse, that's phenomenal, man. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And we know where you're going, man. We're going to be right there with you.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you having me out.
Appreciate you, Jesse.